Good morning, boys and girls. I'm sitting up here last night and a few days watching the protests in Oakland and all the other cities. And I understand protests, and I would never tell anybody, not to protest, not to have your opinion, not to do what you do, even though I may consider it ludicrous and just unreasonable. One of the protester guys got on there and was talking about impeach him. Impeach Trump. I was like, impeach him for what? He hasn't done anything yet. I mean, the man hasn't even done anything yet. These people scream him, he's not my president, impeach him. And then I was reading on a blog, and the conversation was going on, and then one person just said, but remember, he's a racist, a misogynist, and all this other stuff they call him. I'm like, wait a minute. Where did you hear it? How do you know that? How does this person know for sure that Donald Trump is a racist, a misogynist, and all this stuff? And they know it because they were told that by mainstream media, which the acronym is MSM, which I Googled yesterday. They were told that by mainstream media, the mainstream media of their choice. If you're going to watch MSNBC and CNN all the time, that's what the message was. I almost think that the Democratic Party, as a political tool to help them win the election, let that be out there, or even put that out there. Let these things that he did or said in the past mobilize the community or the black community and basically got everybody riled up just not to keep the racists in. But as you look now, most of the white people, well, not most, most, 53%, don't care about that stuff. They don't care that he so-called was misogynist or some, whatever the word is, against women or whatever. You know why? Because I don't either. I Googled the top 13 things that why Donald Trump is a racist. I went through all 13 of them. I didn't think maybe 12 of them were racist. These are things people do and say. Normal human beings, not normal. I said, okay, I can't use normal, but I will say people outside of the left or the liberal live in a bubble in a utopian world that they're trying to get to. And I'm not faulting them for that. I'm not saying that they're wrong or whatever. I don't use those words. But I'm saying America is not like that. America, you can be called this or that, and you still go on. It's just part of the game. It's like playing in the NFL and defensive back is talking about your mother while you're running down the field. It's just part of the game. You don't label them as this. You don't label them as that. You just keep going. You don't let that bother you. You don't fight against that. You fight to win the game. You don't fight against these little things to win the game. And I'll even say this. Even if he was all those things, that don't mean he can't do a good job. No matter what he is, there's no direct evidence, because this is unprecedented, that he won't be able to do the job. And people already talk about impeach him. He even done nothing yet. And like I said, I was reading down those 13 things about how he was racist. And sure, they could be slanted to make him seem like he's racist. And I think that the mainstream media, especially the left, twisted it that way to get news, just like what they did with Trayvon and all the black the shootings of black men and this and that. They twisted that to get ratings and to rile the people up. And it worked. And now people are so quick to play. It's not even playing the race card anymore. It's beyond that. If you do anything or say anything, you're a racist. Where I come from, that's normal. It's just part of the fabric. It's just normal. It's nothing to rail against. Okay, so what? You and your liberal left people want to end racism. Good. Spend all your energy trying to do that. Well, I spend all my energy trying to get a job and make this system work for me. Now, see, and they're taught, I'm not going to say they, but people are taught that the system is broken, it's bad, and get out of it. And then dream about this utopian idea. And then let's implement this utopian idea. No fossil fuels, free energy, replaceable energy, gays are this, dogs are that, save the world, all that stuff. Sure, that's your dream. You're allowed to have that. And you can promote it and do whatever you want to with it. But the majority of America does not believe that. The majority of America does not have your same beliefs. I'm not saying not all of them. I'm not saying not all of them or all of anything. I'm not saying they don't like any of your beliefs. There's everybody isn't as left in California and is like that. Where I come from, it's just not like that. It's more hardworking. If you go to work and you got to fight, you got to fight. And there's another thing about fighting. Everybody gets a trophy is just ridiculous to me. It's just completely ridiculous to me. And I would go and say that probably most of America, it wasn't like that way. You raised to win. Like Donald Trump here, you raised to win. You're the winner or you're a loser. And if you're a loser, oh well, next time, get them next time. You don't take it personally. You don't blame the system. You don't say this, you don't say that. You lost. You lost. Or you go out there and win. You go out there and you kick some ass and you win. You cannot legislate or force people to believe something that they don't want to. You can't force them. You have to do it by example. You can't make people be not racist. And plus, I think everybody's racist to a degree anyway. In fact, I think the people who play the race card are racist. Playing the race card is a racist move. But some black people or some people will say that part of racism is that you have to be able to oppress. If you can't oppress somebody, you can't be a racist. I don't know what the word is, maybe prejudice or whatever you want to call it, but everybody is that. Everybody thinks that theirs is the best. They may not be as vocal about it. There may be there's some white people out here who are just been so humbled and so guilt-ridden about the slavery thing and the whole black thing that I don't even think they know who they are anymore. They just know who other people are. There are some people out here on the left or whatever in California that are so, into hippie, I don't know what the word is, just so far out there that they don't even know who they are anymore. They just know who everybody else is. They're so worried, not worried, their focus is so much on helping others that they don't even know who they are. There are white people in the Midwest who've just been left behind, disenfranchised. In the middle of the country, they've been just poor white people and I said this a long time ago, that they've been left behind just like the black people in the city. But the black people in the city got the race card to play. They got the race card to play. And again, and they're throwing it around too much. It's like a harpoon now. It's like you just get labeled this. And the girl yesterday was like, but remember, he's a racist. I'm like, where'd you get that from? And, I wouldn't say like where you got it from. I was like, I wonder why she think that. And I thought about it because she was told that. And another thing, on my Facebook blog, I'm seeing people, oh, my 8-year-old daughter woke up this morning that Trump was president and she just started screaming and she got scared. And, my little kids waking up, find out Trump was president, scared. They were taught that by you. They don't sit there and watch CNN. They don't sit there and watch NBC. They ain't read a newspaper. You taught them that. You as a parent put that into their head. You spread that fear. And that's just as bad or whatever, egregious, I don't know what the word is, as spreading racism. It's like a reverse racism. When you demonize somebody because they're not as politically correct in talking as you. And basically, I think that's what it comes down to. Where I come from, I don't want to keep saying where I come from, but in my experience, people talk like that. Sure, you talk about grabbing somebody's yang or whatever. You do that behind closed doors. Men do that. You just don't, do it in public. And if you get caught, you got to fall on your sword. You can't say, oh yeah, me and the boys do it all the time. No, you don't do that. You just fall on your sword and say, yeah, I'm bad. It doesn't mean just because Trump said he gonna grab him by the yang don't mean he did it. It's just talk. It's locker room talk. And it's not just me that feels that way. 53% of the white women in this country feel that way. Or they don't. They still voted for him. The stuff he said, it doesn't faze them. It doesn't faze them the way it phases the left and the minorities, because the minorities have been taught that. Mainstream media has pounded that into their head. Just pounded that it's the man's fault, it's the white man. It's to the point now you don't see any strong white male figures on TV anymore. Modern Family, the father is, he's funny now, don't get me wrong, but he's just not competent. He's not a leader of the family. It's just, and it's not that I want males or females, the male to be the leader. You just don't want that character, any character, to be the dumb guy, to be the fall guy for everything. It's funny and stuff, and we laugh, and you look on TV and there's gay couples and gay and homosexuality in just about every TV program there is. And I've been telling y'all for a long time, Most of America don't like that shit. I mean, I got no problem with it. What I have a problem with is this liberal left ideas being shoved down my throat, and I'm told that I need to accept it, and I only can talk a certain way because of political incorrectness. And did I offend somebody in the Midwest? We fuck you getting offended. I don't give a damn if you offended. Being part of life is you get offended. You move on. Did I assault you? Did I touch you? Did I discriminate against you? No, I offended you. So what? Offending somebody is not a crime. And I saw a little picture on a blog the other day. You know, it was like a millennial. A millennial was dressed in a Halloween costume, and he had like bubble pack on him, and it said "fragile, fragile, fragile," and it says "Don't offend me." You know, it's we're being brought up. I think somebody called it the pussification of America. You know, remember when John Wayne was around and people just, grab a girl and kiss her and all that? Now, I'm not saying we go back to keeping women in the kitchen and all that and stuff, but there's a middle ground. There's a middle ground that where life really actually happens in the way the left thinks life should be, where everything's all nice and nobody talks bad and we don't raise our voices and we don't say no. We help each other. We love each other. And then there's a part of life where you got to buckle down and just get shit done and people's feelings get hurt. Because we're trying to get something done and we ain't trying to protect people's feelings. We're trying to execute and accomplish and not be a one big group happy running around singing songs in a circle. It's not the point. Sometimes the point is accomplishment and people get hurt. To make an omelet, eggs got to get broken. And now you just can't say nothing. Now you just can't say nothing. And people talk about impeach Trump and he ain't even did nothing yet. The man ain't even did nothing yet. He won fair and square. And he ran on the platform. He stayed steady on his platform. And I'm going to tell you else, he ain't dumb. He a genius. That man is a genius. No matter how you cut it, he's a genius. You may not like him. You may think this, that. But he's a genius to get to where he is. Any person who can do what he did is a genius. Now, I think that some of the stuff he said he ain't going to do or don't believe. And somebody, I think Sam Harris said that he believes in atheists. And I do too. I believe Obama and them. A borderline agnostic myself, but that's just a whole different story because don't talk about Obama or Michelle right now. See, when y'all had Obama and Michelle in there, y'all was like, oh, this is heaven. Yeah, but y'all got a slap up, wake up call and to show you what America really thinks or what you think America really thinks. You think America is racist because they elect them. You think America hates you. America's coming to get you. America's this and America's that because they elected them. And that's not true. That's manufactured in people's heads. Then all of a sudden, since he's president, America's going to go this way. What can happen? What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Institute martial law, come in your house and take your TVs and fire you, start shooting your children or something? What do you think is going to happen? Oh, well, other race people will see that and they'll rise up and, they'll think it's okay to say the word nigger and all this and all that. They'll think it's okay to speak their mind. They think it's okay to speak their mind. You've been speaking your mind. Why can't they? They ain't got to like you. Nobody got to like you. What they got to do is respect. They don't even got to respect you. They just don't got to touch you. They can do anything they want as long as they don't touch you or get caught discriminating against you. There's laws. I mean, no, it's gone too far. It's just gone too far. And I said on my Facebook page, I'm glad that the liberal left has got a smack in the face because basically y'all starting to get on my y'all whiny asses are starting to get on my nerves. And I see the people who doing this. I hung out at the Occupy movement. I've seen the people and I've been around some of the people who are doing this. And these are people who decided not to be part of the system for whatever reason. They can't function in the system the way it is. For whatever reason, they can't participate or function in it. And so they're going to take the other route. And another route is to say if they're oppressive or they're being victims. And one time I'm at the Occupy meeting, and there was a bunch of traffic cops over there eating donuts, and then they're going to attack us. All the people in the Occupy, they're going to attack us. I mean, they feel like victims. It's like beyond victims. It's like aggressive victims, like passive, super aggressive victims. Like they think everything is against them, they're going to come get them, and they can't do this and they can't do that. And I'm not faulting them for that. I'm not saying it's bad or wrong. I'm saying that is what is causing a lot of their thinking to maybe not help them. That does not help them participate in the system and get that money. The money is in the capitalist system. They say if you want to get the money, these are the rules. These are the rules. And if you want to abide by them, you can get the money. If you don't, well, you're on your own. Find your own way. And I'm not saying anything is wrong or bad or left or right about them finding their own way. That's their path. That's the way they want to do it. But don't be going your way, being pookie on the corner, or just, not working or doing whatever you're doing and expect to get the same rights and respect and class that I have, where I went to school. I had a job. I got a resume a mile long. I participated in the system. I smiled in people's faces. I was a good co-social worker. I learned my craft and I did well. Do not expect being a disenfranchised part of the system for whatever reason. That's a whole different story. Don't expect you've been to prison and this and that you're going to be equal to me. People who have legacy of generations of going to college and not having criminal records and participating in the system and paying taxes and being respectful. Not even respectful, but respectful to the system. It just doesn't work that way right now. And the left wants it to. They want to give everybody a helping hand and do this and do that to people who are just not trying to participate in the system. People who even want to dismantle it. All right, that's enough. I got to eat and go to work. Oh, shoot, I'm late already. Anyhow, my name is Jeffery. I hope this come out as always 2 times swinging on y'all. Stop.